Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. All right, so we're going to jump right into some SoFi action today. Got my blue golfing shirt on, even though I'm not on the golf course right now, but still kind of feel like I'm a little bit going golfing for some maybe SoFi shares, right? I'm a raging SoFi bull. If you're new here, welcome. If you love SoFi, you're going to love me. If you hate SoFi, you're going to hate me. Oh, man, because, yeah, I have grown to really love SoFi because this company has just really shocked my mind with, one, the earnings that they continuously put up, and we're going to be getting earnings in 2 days here. Oh, boy, Wednesday's going to be huge. So today's video is going to be all about SoFi. Once again, if you are new here, welcome. I cover a wide range of content on this channel, Monday through Friday. I may drop some bonus content on Saturday. I dropped a video 2 days ago, this past Saturday. It was a SoFi video as well, talking about when a SoFi rally could very well potentially be happening. So definitely check out that video. If you want to follow me along, click the subscribe button. Let's grow this channel. This channel is relatively new. My main YouTube channel is actually a video game channel, RuneScape channel, NightmareRH, 200,000 plus subscribers. Going to be advertising this channel probably in the next couple of weeks here. So if you are an active viewer of mine, understand that we may be getting a bunch of baboons coming over here. Some good, some bad. I mean, hey, I'm a baboon myself at some times, right? But definitely going to be some little trolls, which is always going to be humorous. But, okay, so the market right now is just really in a, like, we ran up significantly with the chips, the semis last week. So the overall market is just honestly cooling off a little bit in that area. Not a bad thing at all, considering the fact for AMD shareholders like myself, baby. We are very much sitting on massive gains. I got one profile with an AMD average close to 150 bucks, and then I got my YouTube channel profile, which I showed in my past video. I'm not going to have enough time today to go through my entire profile, probably tomorrow though. But my average is right above 200 bucks. I'm sitting on massive gains on 2 accounts. So happy. And a lot of people said AMD was just nothing more than a joke. A lot of people said that about SoFi back throughout 2024. I was buying shares like crazy. Hey, it pays off. So I want to really talk about a lot of data today around SoFi. SoFi really is not doing so much. This is the 5-minute time frame here. Basically, pretty much we got a little bit of a pop. This could be like anything in the morning. Honestly, it could be some shorts closing their position. It could just be maybe an institution buying. But I mean, overall right now, the move on SoFi is really not going to happen until this Wednesday, earnings, and then post earnings, we can go really maybe 10, maybe even 15% in either direction. If SoFi does what I kind of think it is, and please don't like dislike me, this is the truth. If you are a trader or a gambler, well, you're not going to like me. If you're a long-term investor, you're really going to love me on this aspect. SoFi has a tendency to go up and then go down after earnings. And then we very much have a delayed reaction. We had a delayed reaction back pretty much 2024 after earnings here. Pretty much delayed reaction, boom. Other delayed reactions as well. And I mean, that's what SoFi does. So, if SoFi goes down in the minus 10%, you know, down into the $17 range, I'll be buying more shares. Pretty much plain simple. If SoFi goes up to the 20 plus, hey, I got a lot of shares. So, we're not really going to expect too much of a move up until Wednesday. Maybe we get a pre-rally move today and tomorrow. Who knows? Typically, we do get a pre-earnings move, and we're not really seeing a pre-earnings move. Maybe this 2 weeks ago, but that was primarily because the Middle East conflict is really dying down. The last thing I really want to talk about on like some charts is Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin has been making a solid recovery. This is on the daily chart. All these candlesticks here is 1 day. So in the last several months, we have seen Bitcoin ever since it pretty much hit got below $60,000. We are trailing now up to 80,000. Now, why is this important? Because one, SoFi, along with Robinhood, another company that I own and very bullish on, they revolve now around cryptocurrency. So if cryptocurrency is going on a bull run, then SoFi and also Robinhood, even more, is going to benefit significantly. Not a bad thing. That's also a really good thing, especially if you're if you just own crypto in general. I don't own any crypto. I really don't dabble in crypto too much. I did during 2021. I did okay. Nothing too crazy. Made a little bit of money with Doge. Yeah, otherwise, I primarily stick to very much growth companies and value companies as well. But I mean, if Bitcoin is going to be recovering 80,000, we can probably start trending close to 90,000. What does that mean? Well, it's very bullish for the overall market, including SoFi, because one, that means monetary policy is probably very stabilizing, if not becoming very much more bullish. Secondly, the market is going to a risk-on appetite, okay? When the market's risk-on, Bitcoin's going to be rock and rolling. When the market's risk-off, Bitcoin's not going to be doing anything. Okay, so I want to go on to some websites now. First website that I want to pretty much go over is let me start on this one. So the FOMC meeting is in 2 days. Powell is going to say the same nonsense that he's been saying, and he may throw in that his legacy and his job is done. The market is now 100% confirmed that they're going to be holding rates. I also believe that Powell is not going to be cutting rates at all, and he's probably going to leave on a very neutral note. Now, this is very important because the new Fed governor, Walsh, has came out and expressed very hawkish ideology against rate cuts. But now he's very much leaning the opposite because he's very much looking how AI productivity is going to need quantitative easing. This is something very big. QE. Okay, if you ever hear the Federal Reserve say QE, quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is when the Federal Reserve prints more money, baby. Okay, they're printing billions of dollars and also diluting us as Americans, let alone if you're in other countries around the world. Well, the entire world recognizes the USD as its global currency. Obviously, there's a lot of debate if the US dollar is going to be kicked off the global stage. I don't really want to dive into that right now, but currently the US dollar is the global currency. Is it losing its value? Absolutely, because we're being friggin' diluted by the Federal Reserve. Quantitative easing, QE. Remember that terminology. Now, QT, quantitative tightening. When you have quantitative tightening, interest rates go up. QE, interest rates go down. June 17th is going to be Walsh's first meeting. We have not heard what he has to say just yet. He's going to be confirmed all throughout May. Next month, in a couple days here, is going to be crazy. A lot of economical stuff is going to be coming out, and it's going to be all eyes on him. He's going to be talking about a lot of great ideas that he has, and it really doesn't make sense as to why President Trump would pick someone as the Fed governor that would be very not for interest rate cuts, when it's very well known that Donald Trump wants to unfreeze the housing market by lowering interest rates. So, call me a little crazy here, but I really feel that we're probably going to be getting a shock in awe. We very well could be maybe getting a couple rate cuts this year. Nothing crazy. I'm not saying rates are going to go down to friggin' zero. I'm not saying we're going to a recession, but the market is primarily pricing in maybe one rate cut. Maybe we get 2 or 3. Last December, I was making videos about the Fed, and we were not supposed to be getting a December rate cut. Guess what Powell did in December of last year, 5 months ago? He gave us a 25 cut basis point. So I really think that at this meeting, 17 June, we're going to see this number here, this percent, because 4.8% is saying there's going to be a rate cut. I think it's going to climb higher. Now, July, the probability of a rate cut even goes higher. And in September, it keeps going higher and higher and higher. And this is just basically the market saying, hey, we're on board for maybe one rate cut. Obviously, all this stuff can change in a blink of an eye. Understand that. Something else that I follow on this channel is AI investor sentiment. Just go ahead and type into Google AI investor sentiment. This is all done by algos, but it's also done by buying pressure and selling pressure in the market. And we're seeing a very strong flip. This comes out once per week, every Wednesday. And we're going to be getting a new one this Wednesday too. Yeah, I mean, crazy, right? 51% bearish 1 year ago, post-Liberation Day. 59% bearish. Crazy, right? Look how stuff changes in a snap of a fingers. So we're having more people become bullish. We're having less people become neutral. And less people become bearish. Now, we are theoretically in a very little bit of a FOMO-y market here. Obviously, the S&P is at all-time highs. Same thing with the major indexes. How long can we sustain being in a FOMO period? Yeah, the Qs are busting through all-time highs. NASDAQ is busting all-time highs. The Russell busting through all-time highs. Dow Jones is lagging a little bit, but it will be there. And then Bitcoin, obviously, too. How long can we stay at these, like, very FOMO-y levels? We can stay at these levels for a long time. We were at extreme bearishness during Liberation Day for well over, like, a month and a half. So just because we are in overbought territory, overbought means stocks are very much too high. Oversold means stocks are very much too low. We can stay in overbought territory for like months, just like you can stay in very oversold territory for months. So don't let these things, a lot of people that are traders, they very much base their trading terminology off this. If you're a long-term shareholder, this is very much irrelevant in the short term, but understand that if you see a 59% bearish, you better be buying stock, especially as a long-term, or even if you are a trader, it's a great time to be buying stock as well too for trade positions. Some economical data this week. Nothing really too crazy to really move the market. It's going to be all hands on deck. PCE, Powell is probably going to be talking about PCE at the meeting, but then again, it's its last real meeting. PCE is an index that Powell prefers. Now, the new Fed governor actually may prefer something different. Every Fed governor, there's multiple inflation reports. You got the CPI, you got the PPI, and you also have the PCE. Powell loves the PCE. So therefore, if theoretically the new Fed governor says, PCE, I don't like it, and the new Fed's governor is going to go off PPI or CPI, things can change. Understand that the Fed governor is one vote out of, I believe, a dozen. Could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. Kind of flew over my head how many people are at the Fed. The Fed governor needs to convince other people of the Fed to lower rates or raise rates, okay? It's a little wonky. It really is. Yeah, the president of the United States gets to pick the Fed governor, but it's like the Fed governor doesn't truly run the show. It's still a somewhat of a democracy over there, right? I say that very lightly. Okay, earnings today. I think Verizon just reported nothing really too much. Tomorrow, Visa is going to be big. Coca-Cola, the OG Warren Buffett's company, that's probably going to be good for Berkshire Hathaway, right? Otherwise, I mean, the thing about Visa is that a lot of people underestimate Visa, man, like credit card companies. Americans are going to be spending money always until they lose their jobs, or maybe even afterwards. Credit card companies could very well be multi-trillion-dollar companies very soon, which is just like crazy, right? This is actually somewhat interesting. I haven't listened to a conference call in a while for Visa. If I have time tomorrow on Taco Tuesday, I may actually tune in. That is actually in the after hours, though. Wednesday, it's going to be all hands on deck. Okay, after hours, we got Google. We got Microsoft. We got Amazon and Meta in the after hours. That is going to be insane in the membrane, okay? Talk like one of these companies can move the market. Water, cheers. I gotta stay hydrated. Today is some track running. Ooh, yes. Nice and humid out. Google is probably going to reassure the market, in my opinion, of their CapEx spending. Well, it's, you want to know what? I'm not even gonna, it's, let me go ahead and wait until Thursday to really dissect a lot of this, because I can really, sit here and play games of what I may think will be said and happening. And I'm not placing any bets. If you're placing bets, be cautious. I personally don't do that. But I will say that it's kind of hilarious how these three companies spooked the market last year and caused a very downward cycle. Now all these three companies are coming out on the same friggin' day. Apple, Google is spending 180 bill on capital expenditure for data centers. Amazon is 200 bill. Meta is 120, 110. Meta is 100 to 120. Mark Zuckerberg is so smart, and he gave a range. He didn't give a number. He gave a range, and that can leave himself open to pull back. Then, of course, we have, it's so sad, man. It's so sad because SoFi is Wednesday, and I don't even, why isn't even SoFi on this list? I don't even know why SoFi is not even on this friggin' list here. It's literally ramping up my anxiety like crazy. Like, screw you, NASDAQ. SoFi is on Wednesday, so we got to look forward to that. Apple is on Thursday. Maybe Apple. I think Apple is going to beat, because it's going to be Tim Cook's last earnings that he's doing before retiring. So that's on Thursday. And then we got Berkshire Hathaway. ExxonMobil is going to be huge. Same thing with Chevron. And then that's basically pretty much about it, guys. So this week is going to be very crazy for SoFi, for stocks. And if SoFi, for whatever reason, very much dips after earnings, maybe it could be because of the market. Maybe it's because that's what SoFi does. But either direction with SoFi as a shareholder, stick to your strategy and stick to your plan. If for me, if the stock goes down, well, I'm going to be picking up more shares there. If the stock goes up, I am loaded with shares out of the wazoo. Stay motivated, everyone. Stay healthy. I will see you all on tomorrow's new video. And yeah, this week is going to be crazy. As always, if you enjoyed today's episode, smash the like button and subscribe for more. Take it easy, everyone. Later.